Apparently, she was beaten up, stabbed, and dumped inside a septic tank, possibly while she was still alive. Okay, hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about Agnes Wanjiru and her murder, because she's one of our own and we need to talk about it, people, until she gets justice. Her story is pretty long, guys, so I'm going to try as much as possible to read quickly, so that this is all of it, and there are like 3 newspapers, but I'm going to shorten it. Higher. So, pressure on UK to probe murder of Kenyan mom. House soldier killed woman and hid body in a septic tank. Can you believe it? The British Army allegedly covered up the murder of a woman who was reportedly killed by a soldier in Nanyuki 9 years ago. A soldier reportedly confessed to killing Agnes Wanjiru, who was 21, but a cover-up ensured nothing was done. According to the British newspaper Sunday Times, a soldier admitted to the murder and another reported it to senior officers at the time, but no action was taken. We were in the pub and he came in crying, saying, help me, I said. Why? What do you mean? He said. I've killed her, I said. What do you mean you killed her? Show me, the colleague said. A postmortem found Wanjiru died as a result of stab wounds to her chest and abdomen. Wanjiru left behind a 5-month-old baby under the care of her Aunt Rose Wanywa. Her body was discovered more than 2 months people, in a septic tank after she had gone missing following an encounter with a soldier on March 31st, 2012. Her friends Florence Nyaguthi and Susan Nyambura met Wanjiru on the fateful night at the hotel while she was in the company of 2 white men. Wanjiru joined us in the bar at around 11 p.m. and we started dancing. She had a beer. I asked her to buy me some water. She told me that the beer was bought by a potential client, Miss Nyaguthi said. That was the last day the mother of one was seen alive. Nyaguthi said when Wanjiru did not show up the following day, her friends went to the hotel and asked the security guard about their friend's whereabouts. A guard said he had had a fight in one of the rooms. There was a loud bang, and later they realized a window had been broken, said Nyaguthi. The then DPP, Kerioko Tobiko, asked for the murder file from DCI. In a letter dated July 13, 2012, Miss Mary Wangele, on behalf of Mr. Tobiko, cited laxity in police probe to arrest Wanjiru's killers. The British government is under pressure to investigate and prosecute a soldier who allegedly killed a Kenyan mother in 2012 in Nanyuki, Laikipia. This follows an expose by the UK's Sunday Times that revealed the soldier reportedly committed the crime in Nanyuki, where he was on deployment as part of the British Army training unit in Kenya, Batuk. The suspect was part of Northwest Premier Infantry Regiment, nicknamed the Lions of England, and is well known among his colleagues, one of whom revealed his friend confessed to the crime, according to the report. Agnes Wanjiru, then aged 21, was last seen going into a room with a British soldier at the Lions Court Inn in Nanyuki town. 2 months later, her decomposing body was found in a septic tank by a hotel worker alerted by a foul smell. By the time the body was discovered, the British troops had gone back home. A postmortem revealed that she died from multiple stab wounds to her chest and abdomen. She had a 2-centimeter stab wound to her lower right abdomen and a blunt force injury to her chest. Her lungs had collapsed. An investigation by local police officers did not yield much. Her family has been pushing for answers ever since. Imagine, since 2012. The Sunday Times reported that the probe identified 9 soldiers who had booked in at the hotel and who needed to be questioned. The British Royal Military Police was asked to interview them and take DNA samples. However, the Ministry of Defense said they never received any such request and DNA samples were never provided, causing the inquiry to stall. The paper reported, adding that the 9 did not include soldiers X and Y. What do you mean? A 2019 judicial inquest, however, found that Wanjiru had been killed by a British soldier. Yesterday, British High Commissioner Jane Marriott confirmed that in 2012, the UK's Special Investigation Branch carried out initial inquiries in Kenya, including providing information about British personnel to Kenyan police. She added that no further requests were received at the time. Following the conclusion of a Kenyan inquest in 2019, we understand that the Kenyan authorities are looking into the murder. We will support that Kenyan police investigation. I share the outrage and concern about the tragic death of Agnes Wanjiru in 2012. My thoughts are with her family and the community. I can assure Kenyans that the UK is fully cooperating with the investigation and will help in any way we can, said Ms. Marriott. The new allegations have since prompted a fresh inquiry by the Royal Military Police, while Labour MP for Birmingham, Yardley Ms. Jess Phillips, has called on the government to ensure justice is served. Yes. This is brilliant reporting and a tragic tale which I will be pressing the Defense Secretary for answers about. Her name was Agnes Wanjiru and we owe her a debt, Ms. Phillips wrote on Twitter. According to the UK paper, 4 soldiers who took part in the drunken debauchery with local sex workers that evening said the alleged killer confessed to the murder in the hotel bar. That soldier told everyone what he had done, but senior officers dismissed his account and told him to shut up. One of the 4 soldiers, identified as Soldier Y, confessed to the paper. Soldier Y said Soldier X burst into the bar where the other soldiers were partying and asked for help. We were in the pub and Soldier X came in crying for help, saying, help me, I've killed her. I asked him to show me and he just stopped crying like that, turned around. He took me to the tank and lifted it up and I looked in and I just remember seeing her in there. My heart sank. My mind just went blank. The only thing I could say to him was, I'll never forgive you for this. The ex-squaddy added that when they returned to their base at the Batuk camp, he informed his seniors of the incident but no action was taken. Neither was he probed about the incident later. What? Soldier X, however, denied the claims when he was contacted by Sunday Times. Honestly, I'm not surprised because there were rumors in my battalion. If you speak to people in my battalion, they'll say that, but it's a rumor. There was a rumor going around for a long time, which actually was borderline bullying. But there's nothing you can do when you're in the military. There are a lot of idiots, but there is no real truth in it, he said as reported by the Sunday Times. The soldier, however, said he did not report the alleged bullying, and when asked whether he could remember being at the hotel that night, he asked that he be allowed to contact his lawyer. Another soldier from the same regiment, identified as Soldier Z, however, gave the Sunday Times a different narrative of the incident. His story was that he'd been having sex with her and he'd choked her and she died, claimed the soldier. The paper added that Soldier Z believed that no action was taken against Soldier X in line with their blue code of conduct in quotes. In the army, there is a certain code. You keep your mouth shut. There are some unwritten rules. Stuff does get covered up. You protect your own, the soldier said. Man. Do you know what the topic was? the headline. It was Pressure on UK to Probe Murder of Kenyan Mom, right? So the next time they wrote the story again, which is a continuation of where I left off, is 26th October. That was literally 25th. And it continues. And the headline is Kenyan authorities accused of aiding British cover-up of Wanjiru's murder. Can you imagine? Seriously? Someone is killed, she's dumped in a septic tank, and because of relational ties, you guys try and cover up the whole thing. Hii dunia. Haya, let me go on reading. Apparently, she was beaten up, stabbed, and dumped inside a septic tank, possibly while she was still alive. Okay, let me read. Slain woman's family still seeking answers about the murder. Wanjiru's family is still seeking answers about her murder. When the nation visited the family, Wanjiru's elder sister Rose Wanywa was reluctant to grant us an interview following the new revelations on her murder. When the nation visited the family, Wanjiru's elder sister Rose Wanywa was reluctant to grant us an interview following the new revelations on her death. Later, Miss Wanywa and her husband John Mushiri opened up and narrated what they have undergone since Wanjiru's body was found. The couple urged the government to expedite investigations into the matter and unearth what transpired on March 31st, 2012. Kenyan authorities stood by and watched as the British Army covered up the heinous murder of Agnes Wanjiru in Nanyuki 9 years ago, new evidence shows. Oh my goodness. Where is our humanity? Like, where did we throw it away? Because we need it back. One British soldier or more under the British Army Training Unit in Kenya, Batuk, is believed to be behind the killing, and the military covered up the crime, allowing one of their own to get away with murder. It has taken 9 years for the truth to come out, and both the Kenyan and British authorities played a part in denying the victim justice, according to the evidence. The new evidence shows that the British Army covered up the matter until the suspected killers left the country, while Kenyan authorities delayed and blocked investigations into the foreign soldiers. Investigative material acquired by the nation reveals the grim picture of how Wanjiru, a 21-year-old mother of one, was beaten up, stabbed, and dumped inside a septic tank, possibly while she was still alive, and how the case was swept under the rug. The documents also reveal the identities of 9 British soldiers who were at Lions Court Hotel in Nanyuki at the time of the murder. Not even a court-guided inquest into the death of Wanjiru has yielded any action to bring her killers to book, and while delivering her decision on November 5, 2019, Principal Magistrate Jerry Duku expressed skepticism regarding whether any action will ever be taken to hold Wanjiru's killers accountable. It is possible that even after stating a decision in this opinion, no action may be taken by any of those charged with doing so. If that be the case, then those who know the fate that befell Agnes on the night of March 31st, 2012, shall be in the hound of heaven, she said in her ruling. True to her prediction, 2 years after the inquest was closed, no action has been taken either by Kenyan and Britain. In her decision, Ms. Tuku pointed out how investigations dragged on for half a decade as police witnesses revealed how diplomatic hurdles set a killer free. Wanjiru disappeared in March 2012 and her body was discovered in the septic tank in June, 2 months later. A postmortem was conducted in June 2012, but it will take more than a year for a toxicology report to be prepared on April 5, 2013. Crime scene photos will then be produced another year later on April 24th, 2014, despite being taken the day the body was discovered. Exactly. How are they being produced a year later? Seriously? Kai. 3 years later, in January 2017, the Director of Public Prosecution ordered police to open an inquest file into the death of Wanjiru. The file was presented to court more than a year and a half later in October 2018. Witness accounts show that Wanjiru was last seen in the company of uniformed British soldiers at Lions Court Hotel. She and the other women had met with the soldiers who were out on a night of binge drinking and sex with local women. It would later emerge that the soldiers had in fact sneaked out of their barracks. During the inquest, the court heard that Wanjiru was seen entering one of the rooms with 2 soldiers. A worker at the hotel reported hearing a commotion coming from the room and even heard glass breaking. The following morning, the soldiers had left and Wanjiru was missing. Court documents show that broken glass and blood was found in the room Wanjiru was last seen entering in the company of the 2 British soldiers. Hotel staff and management at Lions Court took no action. This was the first step in the cover-up at the Kenyan level. The hotel manager, Mr. George Njuguna, testified during the inquest, claiming that he was not aware Wanjiru had been at the hotel and only learned of her when her body was pulled out of the septic tank. This was, however, questioned by the magistrate, who accused the hotel management of a cover-up. I find it hard to believe that the management of our hotel would find it usual to find broken glass and blood in a room. Exactly. This points to signs of a cover-up of a misdeed committed in their premises and should be subject of investigations by the DPP, the magistrate noted. In an expose by British news outlet The Times, a soldier allegedly confessed to killing Wanjiru to his colleagues and dumping her in the septic tank adjacent to the room she had been. The matter was allegedly reported to Batuk Senior Command and the Royal Military Police, but the whistleblower was instructed to remain quiet and drop the matter. After 2 months of searching, the decomposing body of Wanjiru was found in the septic tank. By then, the soldiers who had been at the hotel on the day she was last seen there had already left the country. In the initial stages of the investigation into the death, the former Nanyuki OCS Chief Inspector of Police Mohammed Jerumani took point. He had received a report from the hotel manager about the discovery of a body. It will then emerge that the body was of Wanjiru, who had been reported missing 2 months earlier. Mr. Jerumani assigned the case of an officer identified as Corporal Jabali, with whom they sought to question Batuk's leadership regarding the identity of the soldiers who were at the Lions Court Hotel on March 31st, 2012. They intended to question the soldiers but were informed that they had already left the country. The officer told court that there was communication between the British High Commission and the Office of the Attorney General at the time. There had apparently been plans to have the soldiers questioned over video link. There is no evidence whether the soldiers were ever questioned, but some of them who spoke to the Times claim they have never been questioned regarding the murder by either Kenyan or British authorities. Wow. Wow, okay. 9 soldiers from the 2nd Battalion, Duke of Lancaster, were named as possible suspects and witnesses because they were at the hotel at the time. It also emerged during the inquest that Wanjiru might have been alive when she was dumped into the septic tank. Pathologist Obiero Okoth, who conducted a postmortem on Wanjiru's body, told the court that she had 2 notable injuries: a blow to her chest and stab wound in the abdomen. He, however, noted the injuries were not enough to cause death immediately, meaning she might have been alive when she was thrown into the septic tank. In her conclusion, Principal Magistrate Thuku said Wanjiru was murdered. The inquest findings were served to the Office of the DPP and the Attorney General for action in November 2019. So far, no action has been taken. And that is the second part of that story. I'm going to read you now the latest news. Kenya police sluggish in Nanyuki woman murder probe, UK says. So UK says it's our fault. And here's the story. This story is from today, November 1st. Britain has accused Kenyan police of sluggish investigations into the killing of a woman in Laikipia in 2012. The murder of Agnes Wanjiru, and yet they did not even question their British soldiers, the audacity. Anyway, the murder of Agnes Wanjiru at a resort in Nanyuki has been thrust in the global limelight following revelations by a UK newspaper of an official cover-up of the crime reportedly committed by a British soldier. Yesterday, UK Secretary of State for Defence Ben Wallace, who is expected in the country this week, said Kenyan police only made a formal request for DNA samples this week, almost 10 years after the death. We are responding to the formal request, he said. He added that the Royal Military Police is in daily contact with its Kenyan counterpart and assisting with lines of inquiry in the UK. The DNA request is with respect to 9 British soldiers who had booked into the Lions Court Inn in Nanyuki on the night Wanjiru was killed. The Sunday Times in London last week reported that an investigation initiated by police back then identified the soldiers for questioning and asked the British Royal Military Police to interview them and take DNA samples. However, the Ministry of Defence said it never received any such request and DNA samples were never provided, causing the inquiry to stall, the paper said, adding that the 9 did not include the alleged killer. Yesterday, the nation sought to find out why the Kenyan police will ask for DNA samples nearly 10 years after the incident, but police spokesman Mr. Bruno Xoxo said he was out of town. Really? Kenyan police, come on. He promised a response as soon as he gets back to the capital. In the wake of the expose, pressure is piling on the two governments to bring the killer soldier to justice. Kenya is the only one investigating the case, as Mr. Wale said. The UK has not launched a parallel investigation since the incident took place in Kenya. Okay, so I thought both should. Anyway, because the Kenyan police retain because the Kenyan police retain jurisdiction and primacy in this investigation under the Armed Forces Act 2006, the MOD has not been able to launch a parallel investigation, while the Kenyan one is ongoing, he said. Oh, okay. Mr. Wallace, however, was quick to add that British authorities would assist in the investigation if asked. In 2012, for example, we provided a list of names to Kenyan authorities and offered to support them with a mutual legal assistance request. The Ministry of Defence fully supports and has always supported the Kenyan police with the investigation into this offence, he said. I have so many questions. Anyway, last week, British High Commissioner Jane Marriott said the UK's Special Investigation Branch carried out official inquiries in Kenya in 2012, including providing information about British personnel to Kenyan police, but added that no further requests were received. That is so strange. Yesterday, the Sunday Times reported that the soldier joked about the murder with his friends from his Northwest Premier Infantry Regiment. Are you for real? How do you joke about a murder? You know what? That is the whole story as per now. And I hope you got the whole picture. And let's talk about it, people. Let us talk about it. Her name was Agnes Wanjiru. Share, talk about it, and just let justice be served. Otherwise, I am out. Please subscribe, and I will see you in my next story. Bye bye.